just as a recap, because this is going to be a different video. So remember, we started, Patrick, with the idea of just write an intro for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, all we did was use your website and your name, and that you're a professional speaker, and you talked about the power of self-belief, right?
Correct.
So it's going to go, ChatGPT is going to go out into the web, pull all of this information together, and try to come up with, in this particular case, a really cool intro. Now, the first thing I would say with anything that is done is you always read it and check it and just make sure it's right. So you always need to make sure it's right. Now, in this case, notice on the screen, we said write 3 titles to 3 keynote presentations. Okay, now, in your case, the first topic you gave me, we kind of distilled down to the power of self-belief. That's an aspirational thing. People in the audience want to understand, if I believe in myself, what will I be able to accomplish? I could be Tony Robbins. The power of self-belief. The second one, helping men find their voice, is a valuable title that excludes 50% or so of the population. So if you are focusing, as I was saying a minute ago, if you are focusing on men's groups as your primary buyer, then yay, great topic. But otherwise, from a generic perspective, it is limiting you if you were going to be considered for a keynote presentation somewhere. The third one, because you've got experience with NASCAR, is navigating life at NASCAR speed. Ooh, now let's think about that. NASCAR is a world-recognized brand, which means that you would appeal to broad audiences, because there's lots of females that like NASCAR, but you would appeal to broad audiences because apparently you've got some connection, and navigating life is a powerful, positive benefit. Okay, so ChatGPT gave you 3 titles, and they were, okay. Prompt engineering is the art of talking to ChatGPT and asking it to help you. So I asked, well, sexy up those titles, make them more creative and compelling. Okay, you can say it any way you want, but it's a conversation with you and this artificial intelligence. And then it comes in, unleash your inner superhero, the transformative power of self-belief. Okay, that's cool. Roaring lions and silent lambs, helping men find their voice and unlock their potential. Now, straight up, that title would appeal if you were talking to predominantly a men's organization, a men's retreat, Christian men's retreat, whatever it happens to be. But the winner, in my opinion, is full throttle living, navigating life's twists and turns at NASCAR speed. Now that's just a kicking title. And you can imagine that somebody that sees this, a meeting professional with an organization that's thinking like, we want an opening keynote speaker that's got to get this crowd roaring, full throttle living, navigating life's twists and turns at NASCAR speed. That's just sexy. I mean, there ain't hardly any other word for it. Okay, so playing with that, then I said, well, I need a captivating description of that the third keynote with 3 key takeaways for the participants who are going to hear the program. There's nothing amazing about what I ask it to do. I just want it to give me information. So when someone says to me, well, Chuck, tell me about the program. Boom, there it is. I mean, what it wrote is, personally, I think kind of short of amazing. It's really a great description. You can take that description and you can then sexy it up yourself, as I tend to use. Probably I'll get busted by somebody for using sexy, but you get the idea behind it. It's like you can take it and put your words into it and make it anything you want it to be. But it's given you, not only has it given you a skeleton, it has given you a skeleton with flesh on the bones. The only real thing you could do, if you want, is you could say, well, I think it would look better with a different pair of jeans, or maybe it needs a little something that is going to reference, the work that I've done with NASCAR. I don't know. But in the very short period of time we were on the call, this is what it gave you. Look, I'm going to play one other thing while we're on this kind of, it's a thread with them. Write me an opening to my Keynote, number 3 above. Well, help if I could spell it, but write me an opening to my Keynote, number 3 above, that is captivating with an opening hook related to how. Now, let's take that away. I don't want to say how. With an opening hook that connects the audience with the eventual, eventual outcome of, and what is it? Navigating life's twists and turns. The opening address to the audience needs to be impactful and no more than, let's call it 250 words. Okay, now I have no idea what this is going to generate, but let's see what happens. Oh, this is pretty good. Now, the first thing I would do, and what I'm looking up, is I would take away good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone, because I would never open a speech with that, okay? But just think about this. Have you ever watched a NASCAR race and marveled at the skill and bravery of the drivers as zoom around the track at breakneck speeds? I mean, it's an awe-inspiring sight, isn't it? Mm-hmm. What if I told you that navigating life's twists and turns requires a similar kind of skill and bravery? What if I told you that just like a NASCAR driver, you need to stay focused, make split-second decisions, and take calculated risks in order to succeed? Now, you might be thinking, yeah, but I'm not a NASCAR driver. I mean, how can I possibly navigate life's challenges with that kind of precision and confidence? Well, that's exactly why I'm here to help you today. I'm going to share with you some powerful strategies for navigating life's twists and turns with grace and confidence. We're going to explore how to set clear goals, handle unexpected obstacles, cultivate support of a network and family and friends, blah, blah, blah. So buckle up, fasten your seatbelts, get ready to learn how to navigate life at NASCAR speed. Y'all ready? That's a heck of an interesting opening, and you didn't write it, and I didn't write it. Artificial intelligence wrote it. Now, I would probably take that and maybe remove the sentence with, well, that's exactly why I'm here to help you today. I'm probably going to take that. Personally, I'd probably take that out. You might be thinking, but I'm not a NASCAR driver. How can I possibly navigate life's challenges with that kind of precision and confidence? Well, that's what we're going to do today. So buckle up, fasten your seatbelts, and get ready to learn how to navigate life at NASCAR speed. Does that make sense?
Yes, very. It's the speed that this is doing it. In my writing history, I've written before too. It would take me, gosh, so much time, and it may not even be as good. Yep. To write something like this. I could write something, sure. That word count, yeah, it'd take me a heck of a lot longer. I can't guarantee it would be better though.
This is a different program. It's called Qullbot. Okay.
Qullbot.
Qullbot, Quillbot.com. Okay. Now, Qullbot is a paraphraser. So I'm going to modify this. And again, this is all captured, but I'm using everything ChatGPT wrote. I personally don't like well, that's why I'm here to help you today. We're going to do this and this and this and this and this. I'm not a fan of that. That doesn't mean, by the way, it's wrong. Okay. But I'm taking it out. Now, you might be thinking, but I'm not a NASCAR driver. How can I possibly navigate life's challenges with that kind of precision and confidence? When we're done, you'll know exactly what to do. And then let's go. So buckle up, fasten your seatbelts, and get ready to learn how to navigate life at NASCAR speed. It's time to start your engines. E-N-S-S. I can't spell engine. I can't spell word. Okay, now, so here's what it wrote. I changed it slightly. You've seen exactly what I've changed. Okay, I'm adding now a little Chuck spunk to it. So this will paraphrase it. There, you can do standard. It can be more fluent. It can be more formal, simple, more creative. You can expand it or shorten it. So I'm going to play with creative. Okay. So I'm going to take what it wrote and now it's going to paraphrase it. Got no idea what's going to come up with. Okay. But here's what it paraphrased. Do you find yourself in awe of the driver's skill and bravery as they tear around the track at NASCAR speeds? Isn't it a sight to behold? I mean, but what if I told you that same skill and bravery is required to navigate the twists and turns of life? And what if I told you that in order to succeed, you needed to maintain your concentration, make decisions on the fly, and occasionally take calculated risks, just like a NASCAR driver? So here's what you might be thinking. However, I don't race NASCAR. Just like people like you handle life's, I didn't read that. I don't race in NASCAR. Just like people like you handle life's complexities. In the end, you'll have a clear plan of action. Prepare to learn how to drive through life at NASCAR speeds by buckling up and holding on tight. Start your cars. Now, personally, I'm not sure that I got anything dramatically different than the first one, but it gives you an alternative. So I'm looking at the left side and the right side, and I got two different approaches to this. Now, I could say expand it, and it's going to take what's on the left, and it will expand it on the right. Have you ever sat down to watch a NASCAR race and been blown away by the level of ability and daring displayed by the drivers as they race around the course at such dizzying speeds? I mean, it's a sight that fills you with awe and wonder. But what if I told you that navigating the twists and turns of life required the same type of expertise and bravery? How'd you react to that? What if I told you in order to be successful, you, much like a NASCAR driver, need to maintain your focus, make decisions in a split second, and take risks that you have well calculated? At this point, you could be thinking, but I'm not even close to being a NASCAR driver. How am I supposed to tackle the problems that life throws at me with that kind of accuracy and self-assurance? Well, we're done here. You'll be aware when we're done here. I'll get to spit it out in a minute. You'll be aware of everything that has to be done. Prepare to learn how to manage life at the speed of NASCAR by buckling up, fastening your seatbelts, and getting ready to go. It's time to rev those engines, everybody. Okay, I'm pretty cool with that second one. So in the course of, a just teeny short period of time, one AI has written your title, written a description, and written your opening paragraph. Another AI has taken it and expanded it and given you two versions that you could work with. Now, that doesn't mean you stop at that point. But what it does mean is you're in a situation where you're using AI to create things for you, so that instead of you spending enormous amounts of time and brain power trying to think through it, it's given you as I put it, the skeleton with the meat on the bones. Let's do this for just a second. I'm going to use your title, Full Throttle Living, Navigating Life's Twists and Turns at NASCAR Speed. This is a book title, and I want to get an outline or the chapter titles for this book, and there need to be 17 chapters. Please write the chapter titles with the same flair as the book title. The chapters need to be captivating. Let's see what happens. Okay, now we picked a title that it wrote for your keynote, but we said that title, Full Throttle Living, which by the way would be one hell of a title for a book, 3 words, subtitle, Navigating Life's Twists and Turns at NASCAR Speed. Okay, cool. And now it's written you 17 chapter titles. So now you have the foundational structure for a book. You've got a title, you've got a subtitle, you got 17 chapters. All you gotta do is write the chapters, and it might write it for you. But the purpose of going through this is so that you can see this is what this tool is like. Now, you have to understand, you know, racing towards your goals, setting a clear path for success. Wow, that's a great start. From the starting line to the finish line, developing a winning mindset, fueling your dreams, boosting your motivation and passion, pit stops and checkups, maintaining balance and wellness in the fast-paced life, handling sharp terms, developing resilience. I mean, that's a freaking great book, by the way. The purpose of our call was so that you could kind of play with and see exactly how this works.
I was thinking about what you told me last time with the blog, the blog's content on the website and the videos to get traffic and elevate on Google searches. This could do the blog writing for me.
Yep.
And that blog then becomes the script, so to speak, for the YouTube videos. This does it all for me.
Right. So let's do this. Let's write a 400-word blog about chapter title number 1 above, and make it pithy, captivating, and with a strong hook at the beginning and a clear example so let's see what happens. Okay. Now, it already said in this chapter, we probably take that out. In this blog, we'll explore, change the word. There you go.
Wow.
400-word blog right there. I would go into that. I would look at it. I might make a few minor changes, like in this chapter. In this blog, we'll explore how to set clear, specific, and achievable goals that will propel you towards success. Now, let's take this just for the heck of it. Okay, well, I need to copy it. It's copy and paste. Chuck. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to take this. I'm copying it. And I'm going to go over here to Qullbot. If I can get this out, and I'm going to paste this in. Okay, and I'm going to say in this blog, I want to change that one word because that's what we're aiming for here. And I want to paraphrase it, and we're going to make it more creative. So it is now going to paraphrase it. Now, what's the value of this? Okay, some people will say, well, if you ask ChatGPT exactly the same question, it's going to give you exactly the same answer, which I have never found to be true. I've tested that 15 times. Put the same prompt in, it always gives me something different. But here's what ChatGPT wrote, which is really nice. And over here, this Qullbot took it and paraphrased it and made it more creatively readable. Now, you could take what's in Qullbot, which is now 422 words, and you could put it into any AI that checks for plagiarism, and it will come up plagiarism free. This is AI working with AI. In an hour, you could have all the content you need for a month of blogs. And I hate to say this, and there are some people that just, oh, they hate it when I come across this. But the world we live in is not about quality. I'm not saying you want stuff that sucks. I don't want to infer that, but it's not about quality. It's about quantity. It's about being found. It's about having a voice. So if I'm an academic working on a PhD dissertation, that is not what this is for. But what it does do is it gives you information that is going to make your life easier. I'm going to try something totally different. I'm back in ChatGPT. Provide me with published articles that, well, let's see, provide me, I don't know if this will work or not. Provide me with links to published articles on how, spell it, NASCAR lessons can relate to lessons in life. No clue what's going to happen. Okay, but let's see what it does. Holy crap, look at that. That's just freaking amazing. What NASCAR teaches us about leadership. Okay, lessons from NASCAR that help him thrive in business and life. And lessons, the life lessons of NASCAR, time, entrepreneur, what's the other one?
Inc.
Yeah, Inc.
Entrepreneur, Inc. and time.
So
wow.
if you wanted to, you could literally write a blog and reference some of this material. It just did the research for you. Why would I go to Google and try to find this stuff when I was very specific with what I wanted, and it's just giving me 3 citations from Entrepreneur, Inc. and Time. You don't get better than that. This is the lesson about how we as speakers can use this. It wrote an intro for you. It wrote titles to your presentations, should you choose to use them. It will write the concept behind the presentations and the key takeaways. It'll write your opening if you want it to. If you wanted to use one of them as a book, it'll write the number of chapters you want in an organized fashion. It'll write, you could use any of that to write a blog, and it will give you content that you can use as part of your reference material that you're going to be conceptually linking to. So we've been on a call for 26 minutes, give or take a little bit. And all of this has been created, which is just a treasure trove of stuff that otherwise we would spend days and probably get a little burned out trying to figure out how do we surf through all of this stuff to get to where we want. To me, the big takeaway is it's a different approach to looking at it. You learn by asking questions. You learn eventually to ask better questions. The better your question, the more detailed, the more you want from it, the more it's going to give you. And when you use that in conjunction with Qullbot, then not only will it take what it's done, but it can make that much more conversational, and it gives you alternatives to look at. It's kind of like going into the clothing store and putting on suit A for a guy or suit B. You know, which one do you like better? Which ones fit your personality for that day? but we've done this in 26 minutes.